Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be telling a bit of a story time about, I don't even know how to summarize without giving it away, but I pretty much just wanted a day off school and I ended up getting I think it was a week off. My parents, sorry mum and dad, they don't actually know this story. I haven't told them because I've been too scared that I'm going to get in trouble, but now you know. I literally don't even know when. I'll call my mum to see if she can tell me what year it was.
Hello.
Hello. What year did I get? Yeah, I think it was probably 2013 or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yep.
Okay. So it was 2013. Oh, I don't know when during the year. I think it was beginning of the year maybe. So yeah, it was 2013. Okay, let me set the scene. My mum had gone to Bali with her sister, so it was just me and dad at home. So I woke up one morning and I was like, oh, I really don't want to go to school today. And I was thinking dad would be easier to convince that I'm sick because he's a hypochondriac. So as soon as I was like, I feel sick, he'd be like, oh, stay home, go to the doctors, whatever, which I knew would be normal. So I woke up quite early, went into their bedroom. Dad was sleeping and I was like, Dad, I feel really sick. And then he was like, how do you feel sick? And I was like, in my stomach, I've got a really sore stomach. Then he was like, oh, where does it hurt? And I was like, all over. And then he started pushing on my stomach and he was like, does there hurt? Does there hurt? All over. And then obviously nothing hurts because I'm not actually sick. I just didn't want to go to school. So he pushed around this area here. I think it was just because he pushed really hard that it hurt. But I was like, oh yeah, that hurts a bit. And so he was like, I think that could be where your appendix is, but I'm not sure. We'll book in with our doctor and we'll go to the doctor and see what he thinks. So then I was just like, hell yeah, this is going exactly how I want it. We're going to the doctors. That means I'm not going to go to school today. I won't lie. I used to not always take days off, but I took quite a few days off. I'd wake up early, go to my parents and be like, oh, I've got a sore stomach. And then I'd go to the doctors. And most of the time the doctor was just like, oh, do you eat a lot of greasy food? Blah, blah, blah. And I do. I eat a lot of takeaway. So he was like, oh, it could be just that. Drink a lot of water, just lay down. Maybe your stomach's just feeling a bit funny. So it wasn't unusual for me to have a sore stomach and go to the doctor. So I figured when I go to the doctor, he's just going to say, stop eating greasy food, drink some water, have a bit of a sleep. So I was like, cool, this is going exactly how I want it. I'm going to go to the doctor and then I'm going to come home and just spend the whole day in bed. I went to the doctor, got in. I was just saying oh, my stomach's really hurting. I woke up with a really sore stomach, blah, blah, blah. And then my dad was like, oh yeah, I was pushing on her stomach and she was saying that it was hurting in a certain area. And I was just like, how's that a big deal? Whatever. Then the doctor was like, okay, lay down on this table. We'll have a feel around your stomach. And this was the first time this had ever happened. So I was like, okay, this is weird, but anyway. At this point, I had told a bit of a porky about my stomach hurting, so I had to remember where my dad had pushed and that I'd said it hurt, because if I said it was another area, my dad would be like, you said it was there, and then I'd get caught out. So I was like, I'm pretty sure it was around this area. So he was pushing around and I was like, oh, not too bad. And then when he got to this side, I was like, yeah, it hurts a little bit. I didn't want to overplay it and be like, because it wasn't even that bad. But I was just like, oh yeah, it hurts a little bit. He was like, oh, okay, that's where your appendix is, so just in case, I'll send you for an ultrasound and you need to go get it straight away just to see, so we can clarify what's going on, if it's just a sore stomach or if it's something more serious. And I was like, okay, an ultrasound, bit weird, but whatever. I literally, this whole time, I was just like, whatever, I'm gonna go get an ultrasound now and then they're gonna find nothing, then I'm gonna go home, whatever. I went to the place for the ultrasound, gave them our form thing, and they were like, oh, wait there, blah, blah, blah. We waited. So she was doing the ultrasound and I was literally just laying there you're not gonna freaking find anything. I'm literally not sick, I'm just faking. She didn't really say anything to me. She was just doing her job, doing the little ultrasound thing, taking the pictures. Then she was like, okay, you're all done. Please go back into the waiting room. Usually when you get an ultrasound, they're just like, all right, leave. We'll send your results to the doctor, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, I guess that's probably not what they do when they're looking for your appendix, because if something's wrong with it, you're going to want to know straight away in case it bursts or whatever. A little bit later, the people came out and they were like, you need to go straight to the hospital your appendix is literally about to burst, you need to go straight there. You need to tell them that it's your appendix and that it's about to burst. You need to give them this slip so that they know what's going on. The people that were like figuring out, doing the ultrasound, they said that my appendix was like massively like inflamed and it was literally like seconds away from bursting. And like I was like, what the frick? Like, are you serious? So then my dad was freaking out because he, as I said, is a hypochondriac. Him being him, he was like, holy shit, let's go straight to the ER. But yeah, we went to Princess Margaret and we said to the lady like at the desk, we just came from the ultrasound place. They said that her appendix is almost about to burst, like she needs to be rushed in, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, okay. So we went in. I was still in a bed, like waiting for ages. They had to put a drip in. They tried to get it in here, but it was the beginning of the day. They were like, have you drunk anything? Have you eaten any food? I was like, no, I haven't had any water. Haven't eaten anything, because as soon as I woke up at like 6 o'clock, I went straight to Dad, then we went straight to the doctor, then to the ultrasound place, and we're here now. So I'm like probably dehydrated. So they couldn't find a vein here. So they put it like in here, and I had to have this big like splint on my arm so that I wouldn't like bend my wrist and like break the needle off inside my arm. Like I was on a drip and I was just sitting there like, I was lying. Like, I just wanted a freaking day off school. Just one day. And now I'm in hospital on a drip. Like, what's going on? I was just waiting around for ages, and then I had to give a pee sample, and they took some blood and stuff like that. And then ages later, like if my appendix was about to burst, it probably would have burst already. So yeah, I finally went for my another ultrasound at the hospital because I wanted to double check, because when they read the thing that the other ultrasound place gave to us saying that it was about to burst, they were like, this is unusual if your appendix is this massive and this inflamed, so we want to check for ourselves before we do anything. So then they did another ultrasound. I think it was a guy this time, and he was like, I can't actually seem to find your appendix. And I was like, shit, I've been caught out. They know that I'm lying. They're gonna send me home and I'm gonna like get in trouble. So they were like, we can't seem to find your appendix, like we're not sure what's going on. Like, I'll take this scan to another doctor and we'll like discuss how we're gonna go forward. And I was like, all right. So went back to my bed, was just waiting again, and then this doctor came in and he was like talking, and he was like, look, our ultrasound, we couldn't find anything unusual to do with your appendix, but because the other ultrasound place found it to be so inflamed, there must be something going on, so we don't want to risk it. We're gonna book you in to get it removed. And I was just like laying there like, okay, Jasper, trying to do a story time. We're going to move you to a different area, get you all prepped for surgery. And I was like, I'm about to have surgery? Sorry. Like, this all started from me just wanting a freaking day off school. Like, I just wanted a day off school. I didn't actually feel sick. I just wanted a day off school. That's it. They were like, we'll prep you for surgery. We'll get you straight in because we don't know the severity of what's going on. And I was like, okay, all right. So at this point, my dad had been keeping my mum updated on Facebook and stuff because she's in Bali. And she was kind of like, not freaking out too much at this point. She was just like, let me know what happens. And then as soon as my dad said she's going to be going in for surgery, she was like freaking out. She was like, of course this happens when I'm not there. And I'm like, it's happening when you're not here because I just wanted a day of school and I knew Dad would be easier to convince than you. This whole bit was kind of like a blur because I was literally just like, what the frick's going on? I'm actually about to get surgery. Like, holy shit. They took me to this other room. I had to put on like the hospital pajamas on. I got in that and we were like waiting around, and I was like just sitting there like, holy shit, what the frick's going on? I think before this, like, a nurse came in and explained everything that was going to happen because I was just like in a bit of shock. And she was just like, so we're going to take you to another room. We're going to put you under anesthetic. And I was like, when she was actually like, you're going to go under anesthetic, that's when I started freaking out, because like anesthetic is weird. If you think about it, like they're putting you to sleep. They took me to the room to put me under anesthetic, but I just remember being really freaked out because I was like, what even happens when you go under anesthetic? Oh my god, I'm so bad at telling stories. I always lose my freaking train of thought. So yeah, I was about to go into the room to get my anesthetic. I'm about 80% sure my dad came in with me and he was like holding my hand. They put the stuff into my drip and the nurse was like, you're gonna feel a bit of a cold sensation like going into your arm. It will just get you to count down from 10. I think I got to like 7 and I was just like out. You literally like go to sleep and then wake. It's like you blinked your eyes. You know those really good sleeps where you feel like you just went like, and you're awake? It's literally like that. Like, it's so weird. There's like hours of your life that you just have no recollection of. You don't even remember being asleep. Kind of scary, but it's also kind of cool. I woke up and I was just like, I was real groggy. Like, I was like, And the first thing I remember is like looking around. My dad was like on the chair sleeping and the door was like open, and I remember I saw this like cleaner go past and he like looked in, and then I looked down and this freaking top that I had that was tied up was open. And like, I was 15, I didn't have like massive boobs, I still don't. But like, it was just open. Like, I was just laying there this whole time with my top open, with the door open, and this creepy cleaner dude walking past. And I was just like, so groggy, I was like, like trying to close it up. So then from there, my dad woke up and he was like, how you feeling? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. I was like so groggy. I barely remember any of this. I just remember they had put all this like gauze stuff around my drip because they had to take the splint off. So my hand was like wrapped in this stuff, and then I had like a bung lip because of the breathing tube. Then when I realized that, I was like, they freaking shoved a tube down my throat. Like, that's actually fricked. They shoved a tube down my throat while I was under, like, and then like my stomach was so bloated. Like, it just felt so tight, and I obviously was like bandaged up. After a little bit, the nurse came in, she was like, oh, you're awake, blah, blah, blah. I literally don't remember much of this. Then I think she was like, oh, we're just going to get the doctor in. He'll tell you like how your surgery went, blah, blah, blah. Then you can pretty much go. And I was like, all right. I don't even remember what time of day it was. Like, for all I know, it could have been the next day. I actually don't remember if it was the same day or not. I could tell you if I had my photos, but I don't right now. So yeah, we waited a bit. I think I slept for a little bit more and I got my phone, took some photos because lol. Then the doctor eventually came in and he was like, so everything went well. We removed your appendix. We had a look at it. He was like, oh, there was actually a blockage in it. So it's like every time it would get, I don't even know what an appendix does, but every time like it did its job a little bit, it would hurt and cause me to have stomach aches, and that's why it looked so much bigger when I got the ultrasound before, because it was inflamed then, but then it went down. I don't know. I don't even really remember. I was still like half out of it. But I was like, oh, there was actually something wrong with my appendix, like legit. He was like, but besides that, you're good to go. So we got our stuff ready. We had to wait a little bit. I got into my clothes. The nurse came in and she was like, yeah, so we'll just discharge you now. Make sure everything's all good. Then I left, and I remember like I had to walk so slow because like I couldn't stand up straight. Like, I had to be hunched over because my stomach was so bloated, and obviously because they'd just like cut me open. Oh, and I also found out keyhole surgery, they don't like cut it and then put the thing in. They literally just smash it in. Like, I would have been lying on the table and they would have just gone and like put it in. Like, what the heck? Like, that's a bit freaking scary. So yeah, I was like walking to the car. I had to walk out, and then we had to go out of the hospital, like under this thing that went under a road, then up and out. And I was walking so slow because like I couldn't walk fast, and I was still like groggy from the anesthesia. I think that's what it's called. If it's not what that's called, I am so embarrassed. But anyway. And then I got to the car. I don't even remember this part. I think I obviously got in the car, went home, got in bed, and then had the best sleep of my life. Like, that's the good thing about anesthetic. Not anesthesia. Anesthetic. Oh my god, I have to stop saying it. So I just like slept, woke up, I was G. Then I was like, oh, I actually can't do anything because I've got this like massive like bloated belly and these fresh ass scars on my stomach. Then I had, I think, like a week off of school. Like, I had surgery, obviously I have to, but like I wanted one day off school and I ended up going to hospital, having surgery, and having a week off of school. Like, yeah, I remember people being like, oh my god, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I had my appendix out. Like, they're like, what? And I was like, yeah, babe, I'm just as shocked as you are. I've told like 1 or 2 people, but I've never actually told my parents. So, hi mum and dad, sorry, but I feel like we're at the point now where we can just laugh at it. Like, how funny is that? But yeah. So yeah, that's my story time of how I was gonna just fake sick to get off school, but then ended up going to hospital and having surgery to have my appendix removed. I don't really have that many interesting stories to tell, but maybe I could do some digging and find some interesting ones for ya. Pull them out the archives, you know? If you do enjoy these kinds of videos, let me know. Give it a thumbs up so I know. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. We've reached 100 subscribers and I am very thankful. 100 isn't a lot to obviously the people that have like a milli, but it means a lot to me. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I might do like a bit of a Macca's mukbang to celebrate 100 subs, just for the sake of it, because what the hell, I love Macca's, 100 subs, perf. And make sure to chuck us a comment down below. Thanks for watching.